this is my Zutter Innovative Products Bind It All machine. So if you've never seen one of this, these guys are old, okay? And I've got a 1/2 inch spiral, which is actually the same as what they use, I think, on the We Are Memory Keepers version of this, but this guy is old school. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to line it up so that I can close this around my book evenly. Just going to verify that this is the 1/2 inch mark, or the 1/2 inch width here. This tool is pretty neat because I can tell this plus this width needs to be able to fit in here comfortably so that I can bind it appropriately. And then I've got some deals on the side here. Now if you don't have this tool, you can go on. You do not need to watch me do this. This video is only going to be about the binding because I figure you might find this at a garage sale. That's where I found this at. And it came with all of these things. It was just a great deal. But online you can actually find a how-to guide. So Zutter new version 2.0 user manual. That's exactly what mine looks like. And I believe it actually says version 2.0, which is perfect. Every once in a while, you're going to want to empty the trash, which is that little loop. Clearly, I needed to empty mine. I heard it shaking around in there. So I flipped to the 8-inch covers. I'm just going to go ahead and call these all covers because they are just straight 8 inches. And if I look here, I've got open, continuous, cover, or inner pages. So I'm going to move this guy. So the arrow is at the C mark. Yep, so this is C. And you can see what happens is that it stops. This little piece goes over this hole. So what I can do then, and I've already glued all these. So these are all glued down, ready to go in my albums. I am going to keep the flaps on here. So I can't remember what page is what. You know, that happens. And all I'm going to do is move this down. And I can do multiple at a time, but I'm just going to do this one first. And I'm going to move this guy out as a stabilizer. I don't know what the best way to do this is. But this is definitely my binding side. I have done it in the past where I've punched the wrong hole and had to start all over again. It was a pain in the butt. But I rounded the outside corners, so I can tell for sure this is my binding. Okay, so now what it says is go to the 5th hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, counting from right to left. And I'm going to move this out, line this up so that it will hold my paper in place. You see that little nub in there? That's holding my paper in place, which is really kind of neat. So now I can go in and punch. Okay, so that's my 5th hole. And then keeping the cover flat in the punching slot, slide to the right until you find the 7th hole punched, counting from the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do the same thing. So just 2 down from where I was. Okay. And that is that. So now I should have 14 holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Perfect. And that is the binding method. So I'm going to do that for all of my pages. Now this sucker is strong. I can do more than just one page. I wanted to test it out. I know I have multiples of these specific papers. Actually, I have multiples of everything still. So I'm okay with doing it. I am going to really like this. I'll go through one more. So I went to cover, which is C. Making sure it rests against this black bit and is all the way down. And I've got my rounded corners on the top, so I'm good to go. And then I'm going to go to the 5th hole and punch. And then the 7th hole. And punch. Now in an ideal world, these will match up. And voila, they do, with no extra bits. So I'll finish this up and we'll come back and we'll actually bind this together. So I've got all of my holes punched. Super quick and easy to do. I was actually able to do the last 3 pages together, so that really did not take me that long, which is really cool. So now I'm going to just kind of line it up. Let's see. I need 14 of these. Okay. So I can then take my wire cutters. This came with it, so I might as well use it, right? Look at this fanciness. Do they have? They should have wire cutters in here. Yep, they do. Look at this little case. I could totally take this to crops and be a happy camper. That is really neat, right? So I don't know if that was like a standard deal that came along, but I can cut that. They always recommend is you go from back to front, so it looks like this, and then you situate it so that this part is going to be in the back of your album. So let me think this through. If I close this on here like that, what if I do it this way? Let's think. That will be on the outside, and that is, I think, what I want. I want it to be like this. Yeah, definitely like that. So, because that will close on the back of this. Sorry, really having to think this out. I'm not going to, in this case, do this last page on the front, because this page is going to be glued and I want this to be glued with it. So let me think here again how I did that. I want it like this so that that part is glued down, but I don't want that on the inner pages. So this will still be glued down and that's going to be on the outer. Okay. Really had to think about that. Sorry. So I want this part to be on the outside so that it smoothly opens and closes. So now I've adjusted this part here. You can see there's lines to the 1/2 inch mark. I confirmed that by using this tool, this plastic part. It's 1/2 inch, that's a 1/2 inch. And then all I do is I'm going to rotate this so it's the center. Looks nice and clean, right? And I'm going to place it in here, trying not to get it so that one of these coils is going to be half off. That is my goal anyway. So I'm just going to press it down. Well, it kind of worked. And that is going to be how it closes. So as long as I'm pretty flat on this, we should be good to go. Of course. Ooh, that one was ugly. And if it's ugly, you know what you do? You just unbend it. And bend it yourself. And make it look pretty again. That middle one does not like me. Okay. So now what will happen is you see this is going to be glued. So this will be very secure. And I'll be able to open this just like that. And this is actually like the perfect size for this. Really like how this is going to turn out. Perfect. So next video, what we're going to do is we're going to make the album cover for this. And then we'll decorate and add the photos. So don't forget to check out the first video about explaining what I'm doing here, what the plan is, that kind of thing. I'll link it up in the upper right hand corner. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you have done any mini albums like this. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.